What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? Back again. Another day. It's your boy. Hold on, let me shut the door. Let me shut the door real quick. What up, what up, what up, y'all? We back with the live until 5. Your boy is really trying to hit this 500 subscribers. So the goal is to go live every day until we hit that magic number of 500 subscribers. And when we hit 500 subscribers, we going to have a special surprise. What that special surprise is, I have no idea, but we going to figure it out because we hit 500 and we going to definitely celebrate. We ain't there yet, but we going to get there. I go by the name of The Curtis York. I'm back again, and we are here to chop it up like we do. Um, yeah, man. So your boy has to start over on my 75 hard again because apparently my mom made some rice casserole or something like that, and I didn't know that there was cheese in it. I didn't even know it was rice casserole, but apparently it was, and all that good stuff. So yeah, your boy is back at day one, with the challenge. It is what it is. And the worst part about the 75 hard when you start over is, you wasted the day because I've already went to the gym. I've already drunk my water and I've done everything I was supposed to do. But it means nothing. Like I have to go back to day one because of a mistake. And really it was me not paying attention. So I gotta eat that. I can't blame anybody but myself. I got to do better with paying attention so I don't have to get back here and start the freak over again. I don't know, man. Mentally, the first time I did it, it was way easier. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was the mindset I was in. Your boy has a lot going on right now. Just life is definitely life and for sure with everything else that's going on. And then as if life wasn't difficult enough, I decided that I was going to put myself under more stress and under more discipline and sign up for a random challenge that doesn't end until you complete it. So every time I mess up, I got to go back to day one. And then the little dude be talking junk. Like, I'm going to show y'all. Well, I can't show y'all right now. But like the next day, his face pops up and he has his arms crossed and he's like, I guess you let the little inner bitch get you. I'm like, oh, here we go. So yeah, man, I gotta deal with that again tomorrow. But I'm not gonna cheat the game. I'm gonna treat the game right, and I want to make sure I go and do everything. So we are gonna continue, and we're gonna stay consistent until we actually knock out the 75 hard challenge again. So your boy is starting again from day one. It is what it is. Um, I had a pretty good day though. I hope y'all had a good day, man. Your boy got some more studying in though. Working on this OSHA 30. Let me show y'all. So on this book, I started chapter 6 in my little ratchet notes. I'm on chapter 13 in this book, and you know, I always stress it. I can't stress it enough, y'all. Make sure you stay on top of your certifications in your respective field. Chat GPT is amazing. Just go to Chat GPT and look up certifications that you can get in your field, whatever it is. If you're an educator, then there's definitely, I can't remember what it was. Dang, there's a certification route that you could go on that leads into pay raises and increases and things like that. So you definitely want to look into that. But in anything. So excuse me, y'all. So right now I'm working on my construction certifications and things like that so I can be official tissue in my field. But every field has certain certifications or requirements that you could go through in order to advance your career. And I encourage everybody to do that because what you do is you give yourself marketability, you give yourself leverage, you give yourself negotiating power when you walk into those rooms and you can say, hey, I have this knowledge base, I have this much experience, and I also have these credentials. So, definitely don't cheat yourself and make sure that you are doing your own personal development and your own growth. That way you can advance your career in a way that benefits you. Y'all, I think I messed up my mustache. Like I'm looking at it. I gotta cut my mustache, y'all. like I'm sitting here looking and it looks crazy. Dang, I'm gonna be bald face, man. Oh well, it is what it is. Clean face Kurt tomorrow. You gonna see it live in the flesh. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe my wife got mad at me and she nicked me when I was asleep on some prank stuff. I don't know, but maybe the kids did it. I don't know, but that looks crazy. Wow. Like I was looking, I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, what's going on? So yeah, man, your boy gonna have to cut the beard, the mustache, and probably the beard and everything, because this looks wild. Like I can't believe I didn't notice that. So yeah, that's what it looked like, bro. It looked like somebody got me, dog. Shout out to my guy Jamari, man. Welcome. Um, that is an interesting topic, though. It's funny because when I first decided that I was going to mess around on YouTube and whatnot, I said that I wouldn't do pranks because, it seems like when you do pranks, it goes too far. Like there is no line drawn in the sand where it's like, all right, this is where we gonna stop at. And this clearly looks like a prank. I think somebody got me, dog. Cause I cut my beard, I cut my mustache all the time, and I've never in my life done that. So it is what it is. We gonna keep rolling. But yeah, man, I've just never you know, if I did decide to do pranks, I'm pretty sure the channel would blow up infinitely. But I always decided that I'm gonna grow the channel on my terms, the way I want to, and there's certain things that I'm just not gonna do. And pranks, for obvious reasons, it's like, yo, I'm not gonna do that. Let me see what else. The gossip joints. If y'all have questions and y'all ask me a topic, something that's going on in the news or something like that, I'll talk about it. But as far as just going out chasing headlines and things like that, I kind of don't want to do that just because it's a slippery slope, man. And there's a whole lot of other channels that do that, man. And I ain't really trying to critique and talk about other people's lives because my life ain't perfect, man. We got a lot that we working on right now. We going through it. So you know um that stuff I said I'll stay away from. I did do a lot of unboxings initially, but then of course I was like, number one, I'm not really trying to promote materialism like that on a crazy level. We gonna get nice stuff, and I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm not materialistic because I am. But at the same time, like we do have a level of responsibility, and I'm just speaking for me because a lot of my homies and people that I rock with super heavy, they do it, and it's no slight to them, or I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to down talk or be funny, but I personally can't do it. And then it's like I got other stuff going on with my bread, and right now your boy is unemployed too, so I just can't justifiably buy as much stuff as I would like to buy. So I always knew that even though I got a lot of likes and I got a whole lot of attention doing unboxings, like right now my biggest video is an unboxing, and I have like 8.5K views on that video. It's like I could easily do that, but the wife will be mad because I'm always buying shoes all the time, and it's like, that's another one I kind of said I'll just stay back from. I'll do unboxings here and there, but we ain't gonna make a big deal about it. Like I just bought some shoes the other day, and I didn't do an unboxing for them. I just bought the kids like 4 pairs of shoes, and we didn't do an unboxing or anything like that. So, you know, Really, and I know this is to a fault, and I always say, I do need to niche the channel down and it'll grow faster. But honestly, man, I don't want to put myself in a box. And again, I know I'm definitely shooting myself in the foot because if I sat up here and talked about recession all the time, which I could do, and I have data and I'm qualified to speak on it, I could do that all day. But then I have a whole bunch of right wing people up here, which shout out to them because they gave me a lot of subscribers. I appreciate y'all too. But, I was just looking at it and I'm like, I probably don't want to do that too much because, that ain't really. Nah, I ain't about to be out here like Candace Owens or Officer Tatum or any of them. And shout out to them, no disrespect, but I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm questioning, like, do I really want to shave my mustache and have a clean face? Like, if you know, you know. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. Cause so we go see, man. But what y'all got going on, Jamari? How's everything on your end, man? Let me show that. He said prank wars. Nah, man, we not doing the prank wars. I do need to do a collection video though. It's long overdue. I need to show y'all the updated fitted collection. I'll probably do like an end of the year recap of all of the fitteds that I have. And then we might do a sneaker collection video as well. Maybe a best cops of the year video. So the materialistic content is coming. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I don't like nice things. So we do have a video coming. Last I counted, I had like 80 something fitted. So I think that'll be a very entertaining video. The last one did pretty good when I did that. So I think the next one will be pretty good when I drop that. So stay tuned. We got that coming for sure. Um, yeah, let me see. What did we do today? Y'all, I do have something weird to tell y'all, man. Like we had hey, the big homie came through. The big homie. Shout out to Superfly Kicks, man. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all haven't followed Superfly Kicks, like y'all definitely have to support the big homie. Man, Superfly is easily one of the most supportive, coolest OGs in the game, man. Like he's always showing love, always giving game. Like Superfly is that dude, man. Shout out to his son Adam out there. I see that they doing numbers, bruh. Like I am really, really, really proud of what he got going on, man. Superfly is that dude, dog. Like don't sleep, man. Follow Superfly, man. Superfly is really, really, really that guy, man. If you like my content and you like my channel, then you gonna love Superfly, man. I'm telling y'all, Superfly is really that guy, man. And like I said, just a real solid, humble dude, man. Like a lot of the subscribers that I have now came from him, so I definitely gotta give love to the big homie, man. Like what I'm saying, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge his presence and thank him for all of the game that he dropped and the information that he gave. And it's like, bro, StreamYard, I had no idea about StreamYard until he put me on. So, going live and doing the whole nine, man, I just got to give Superfly his flowers, man. My brother, I appreciate you. The consistency, the just everything, man. Shout out to Superfly Cakes, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe over there, man. That's the real deal over there, y'all. Let me see. My guy Jamari said trying to maintain and plan for the future. The 33 strategies of war. Oh, the 33 strategies of war. Let me see if I got a physical copy. I might not because I picked up a bad habit. Dang, I muted myself. My bad, y'all. The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. I was talking about that, man. You definitely want to check this book out, man. I encourage everybody to read Robert Greene books. I know. A lot of y'all don't rock with Robert Greene because of the 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, man. We should be good now. I think we back on. Let me see. Headed to Chattanooga this weekend for Adam Championship game. I'm gonna be looking, dog, because I know you're gonna post it on the story. I know. I'm gonna see. Cause right now y'all boys is doing something major, man. Adam out there putting in that work. Shout out to him, man. I mean, I be looking at the story and everything, and it's like the boy is not playing. But yeah, okay, I'm good now. Bet. The 33 Strategies of War. I know a lot of people don't rock with Robert Greene because of the 48 Laws of Power and the book being banned in certain places and the mystique behind the book and all of that. But Jamari brought up a very interesting point. And I encourage everybody to read all of Robert Greene books personally. You know what I'm saying? But the 33 Strategies of War, man. Look at this book. It's war turn. I got battle wounds on it, man. Did I mark this one up? I don't think I marked this one up. But when I tell y'all, oh, yes, I did. Yes, we did. I'm like, that's weird. But yeah, your boy marked the book up. I go through it. Like when I tell y'all I rock with Robert Greene, I rock with Robert Greene. Yeah, the 50th law. I got that one. Like, you know what I'm saying? My thing about these types of books is so you have a lot of people. I was watching the show yesterday, rap shit with it's Issa Rae's show. And you know, what it is you have a lot of people in the world that are born with survival skills or they grew up in very, very, very harsh situations. You're street people. And because they grew up a certain way, they have a mindset about them that if you didn't grow up, so there's two main characters. The one girl, her name is Mia, and Mia is the hood chick. I think she's supposed to be based off of Young Miami. I'm not sure. And then the other girl, I can't think of her name. But it's Earl Sweatshirt's girlfriend in the show. Anyways, so the Young Miami chick, she, you know what I'm saying, she has very good survival instincts. She's out here. If she didn't have a place to stay, she gonna use her body to sleep with somebody and get in a hotel or just whatever she got to do to maneuver. And then there's another girl, she's a female pimp, which her name's Dude, and she's a female pimp. And I'm gonna try not to give too many spoilers if you haven't watched the show, but I always love behavior and analyzing people and things like that. And so the girl Duke, she's very good at people skills, talking to people, striking up conversations, or just paying attention to opportunities. And then you had the other girl, Earl Sweatshirt's girl. What's her name? Shauna? I think her name's Shauna, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, she went to college and she thinks she's better than everybody and she thinks she's smarter than everybody because she what I'm saying, went to college. So she thinks she's book smart, but she's not street smart. And she doesn't really understand how to maneuver in the world like that. But the girl Duke, the female pimp, what I'm saying, her mother died when she was young and she had to live with her uncle. So she was forced to get it out the mud and survive based off of, just looking for that opportunities and figuring them out. And the same thing with the girl Mia. Now, granted, she's not smart and she can't really play chess like that, but you know, if you know how to survive and you know how to maneuver, you're always going to make situations happen and you're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? But the girl Shauna, she grew up with her parents. Like she had a really good sheltered background. And so she just got thrusted into this world and she stayed taking L's because she doesn't know how to play the game. Like she went out on, they was in a rappers, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm pretty sure most of y'all probably ain't gonna watch the show anyway. It is pretty good though. I'm gonna keep it 100. They went to this rapper's green room, which like they have the setup and everything before they perform and whatnot. And so the guy was back there getting girls drunk and they were trying to network because they wanted to meet the rapper and talk to him so that they could boost their career. But the girl Shauna, you know what I'm saying, she was so focused on proving that she was smart, and she was pro black, and she one of the girls compared her to Rhapsody, and she thought that that was a compliment, and she didn't understand that they were like trying to play her. So, anyways, there was this guy. He was getting all the fine girls drunk, and he was asking like really, really hard questions for the women that he didn't want to keep in the room. So, he asked the fine girl like, "What's 2 plus 2?" And then a girl that he wanted to kick out the room, he would ask her like, "What's the square root of 86?" or something like that. And so he was going around, and every time he kicked the girl out, the girl Shauna would get mad. She started doing her little feminist pro-black vibes, like, "Well, why you ain't kick her out?" Or "She got it wrong, but you letting her stay in the room." And you know what I'm saying? So eventually he got to her, and he asked her to name all of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan. And obviously, because she's like the hipster pro-black college educated girl, she went down the list and she started naming the Wu-Tang affiliates, and she went down the list, and the producers and everybody. And so the guy was like, "All right, all right, all right." He couldn't kick her out, because he made the rules of the game. So what he did was he opened up a bottle of champagne and just started splashing it on her. And so she got mad and she left. And you know what I'm saying? The other girl, Duke, was like, she didn't get mad and she didn't destroy the relationship. But when they got back on the tour bus, she was like, "Yo, you're gonna have to get off your high horse and you're gonna have to learn. Like, I know you think you're smart and everything, but you dealing with ignorant people, and when you deal with ignorant people, you got to handle them a certain way." And so she was all distraught and everything. But I tell that story to say, a lot of people, let me see, I would run my mouth. I happen to be one of those survivors. Yeah, man. Like, like certain people, they grow up in it and they don't have a choice because it's just based on survival. Like, the reason I told that story and where I'm going is because a lot of us, we didn't grow up in those type of environments where we had to think on our toes all the time. We couldn't take any days off. We had to always be focused. And reading these types of books will help you understand that mindset and that mentality. A lot of people sleep on war and they think that war is just when people shoot guns or they drop bombs and missiles on people. Nah, every day is war. When you go into an office and you're dealing with people, you're at war. And that's the mindset that you need to have, because at the end of the day, people will cut your throat and go home with a smile on their face. And not literally cut your throat. I mean, metaphorically, you know what I'm saying? They will lie on you so that you get in trouble for something they did, so that they could go home to their family and you get fired and they save their own tails. Because at the end of the day, human nature is based on what's it called? Um, not the pursuit of happiness, because that's not true. Not survival instincts. What is it? Even animals have it. I can't think of it. The will to live is the will to live. Yeah, the will to live. Like, people are always gonna self-preservation. That's the word I was looking for. Self-preservation. People are always gonna look out for their own best self-interest at the end of the day. And you have a lot of people that don't understand that, and they go out in the real world thinking things are sweet, and they get knocked upside the head, and they're trying to figure out what happened. But they don't understand that some people are really cutthroat out here. Now, granted, you do have people that play the game and they understand the rules and they play by the rules of whatever game they play. You know what I'm saying? If you have people that live a street life and they abide by a certain code, then they'll follow that code. But then you also have people that are out here with no code, no morals, no values, no principles, and nothing at all. And you need to know how to deal with those people. And Robert Greene, he talks about dealing with those people in various books. He helped 50 Cent with his book too. Yeah, that's actually, I would say, my favorite Robert Greene book if I had to pick, like the 50th Law. Um, and I like that one the best because it specifically talks about black people. The 50th Law was definitely Robert Greene and 50 Cent in their bag, and they were talking about issues that black people face. But when I tell y'all I rock with Robert Greene books heavy, let me show y'all, man. Like, I got the audio book. I got the physical copy right here. Um, I also have the ebook as well. Like I really, really, really rock with Robert Greene books, man. And they always matter. You know, you can pick up a Robert Greene book at any time and just peruse through chapters, and you'll instantly find something that, you know, you could apply to your everyday life. So I always encourage people to read Robert Greene books, depending on your background, just to get a better understanding of life, man, and dealing with people. But yeah, I got all of his books, man. 48 Laws of Power. I got that one sitting there. Mastery, which I think mastery is a sleeper. If you're focused on a career or you're trying to advance your life and you want to focus on a specific thing, like me, for example, I like the construction industry. Reading the book Mastery gave me like a idea of where I wanted to go in my life. Let me see. Mastery, I'll tell y'all this. Mastery also played a big role in why I left the education field. Because for those of you who don't know, I was a teacher for what 3 or 4 years, and you know, I really wanted to help the youth. I really wanted to give back to the community, but at the same time, I felt like I was fighting an uphill battle, and I couldn't really connect to the education field. Um, I loved it. And really, when I knew that I wasn't really meant to be a teacher, um, my first year, I ran into a lot of political issues because the staff didn't really get along with the principal. And so, you know, I figured it was just the school system. So I left and I went back home to teach for 2 years. And I got along with the principal and the staff got along with the principal and everything was cool. And I said, I'll stay here as long as my principal stayed there. And I want to say my second year, they got rid of her. And so I went to the big leagues, which in South Carolina was Richland 1 at the time, and Columbia, which is the state capital. So, you know, that's really when I realized that, you know, teaching wasn't the lane for me because it's like being at Richland 1 at the time was like being in the NBA, but not just being in the NBA, but like playing for one of the premier teams. It was like playing for the Lakers where you have every opportunity to win. And it's like if you don't get to the finals, it's because something that you did. It's not because the owner didn't throw money at you or, you know, the fans didn't support you or, you know, it's like you didn't really have any excuses to excel and be amazing. And we had all of the best technology, we had all of the best tech support. You know, they followed up on discipline and policies and procedures. Like it was perfect. And I had everything that I needed and everything that I ever wanted in the classroom. And I knew it wasn't for me because it's like I have all of these great things and I have everything that I need to be the best possible teacher. The professional development was on point, the training was on point, the other teachers were helpful and supportive, the principal was helpful and supportive. It really was like the all-star game of teaching, bro. Like not even the Lakers, it was like the all-star game. Everything was perfect. It was just laid out. And I was like, bruh, I just can't shake this feeling that I need to be doing something else. I really can't. And I look at the other teachers and they be at the school and they wouldn't leave until like 6 or 7. And, you know, I'd be going home and it's like, man, bruh, I'm only making 35,000. And you know, the money doesn't matter if you're in that profession. You already know when you sign up, you're not gonna make a lot of money. But you know, at the same time, I just had my little boy and you know, I was struggling and I was actually doing a bunch of side hustles at the time. Like I was trying to be a photographer, which ironically here I am. I actually tried to get on YouTube for the first time and I was doing like little mini vlogs back then. This was 2015. 2015. Yeah, 2015. And it's like, you know, I had everything laid out, everything I could ever want as a teacher. And I still felt empty. I still felt like I should be doing something different. And then I was broke. And so, you know, that's what led me into real estate. and then I started doing the wholesaling thing, and I enjoyed that. Y'all, I feel like I'm going on a tangent. I think I covered everything I wanted to say about Robert Greene. Y'all need to read these books, man. All of them. Shout out to that. But yeah, I'm gonna just roll with this story because I feel like I'm going somewhere. So, I got into wholesaling houses, and everything that I did. I know right now real estate has a crazy name in these streets because of DJ Envy and Caesar and all of that stuff. But we did really good business. Like everything we did was by the book and it was legal. And of course, wholesaling kind of has a gray area, but everything that we did was legitimate and by the book. And I started making a little bit of money, and I was like, yo, this is it. I actually feel fulfilled, and I'm in a position now where I can do things and give back. And so that's how I got into real estate. I know where I was going now. Now, all of that I say, it set me on the path by reading the book Mastery, because when I was following in the real estate thing, that's when I realized, this feels different. I don't feel the same stress that I feel, you know, being in the wrong career and following something that wasn't necessarily for me. And, I feel like, maybe one day later on in life, I may go back and teach at a collegiate level, or I might even be a school teacher. But at the time, just being in a classroom all day, every day, 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day with the kids, I just felt stifled. I felt like I was in a box. I couldn't really see and explore. Um, and so that's kind of what led me down the other direction. And that book, Mastery, I have to say, it played a very big role in that. I don't think I have a physical copy of Mastery, but I would say, even though the 50th Law is my favorite book, I say Mastery probably had the biggest impact on my life, because after reading Mastery, I felt like I had to find my purpose in life. And that's kind of what set me on the path of getting into real estate and later construction. I understand this wholeheartedly. I'm going to hate leaving the kids, but it is necessary for the life I want. I contemplated it for a while. Yeah, man. Ultimately, you got to do what's best for you. And it is unfortunate, you do what you do. You help the kids the best that you can. I was definitely very, very, very sad when I left. Like a lot of the kids that I had at the time, I did have a lot of the rough disciplinary kids that nobody else really wanted, because, you know, I don't know. I just had a way with those types of kids in particular. Like my second year, no, my first year teaching, actually, I had one dude, a little boy. I can't say his name, but he had what was called ODD, and I had no idea what ODD was. What I'm saying? Let me show y'all what ODD is. I think it was what, obsessive defiant disorder, if I'm not mistaken. Obsessive defiant. I think it was obsessive defiant. Let me look it up. Obsessive defiant. Yep, obsessive defiant disorder. Like I had a little boy, man. He had obsessive defiant disorder, and when I first heard it, I thought it was something that they made up, because I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, when you grow up in a black school district, you don't get no IEPs and you don't get behavioral plans and all of that stuff. So, what I'm saying, when I heard ODD, I'm like, oh, he's just bad. But no, ODD is a very real thing. Let's see. A disorder in a child marked by defiant and disobedient behavior to authority figures. The cause is unknown, but it likely involves a combination of genetic and environment factors. So let me tell y'all, man, like that little boy was off the chain. Like he used to curse little girls out at the playground. He used to flip over desks. He used to curse out teachers. And, nobody, he wouldn't, he would get in trouble. Like he'd get slapped on the wrist. Like he would curse somebody out in the middle of the playground in front of everybody, and he'd be at school the next day. And I'm like, what? And me, Mr. First Year Teacher, trying to save everybody, why'd I end up with this little boy, man? He wasn't even my student. And, I kind of took him under my wing and kind of helped him out a lot, man. But Obsessive defiant disorder, y'all. That thing was crazy. He used to flip over desks. Let me see. I am rude. I love offending or embarrassing people around me. If I feel I won't succeed, I become indifferent or defiant. I am vengeful, short tempered, low spirited, and irritable. Yeah, bro, like all of this right here, this was him. Like he was off the chain. He used to flip over desks. He used to try to fight teachers. Like when I tell y'all, man, if you ever seen an episode of Locked Up, like or them little scared beyond scared straight stories, like he was the type. He would have went in there and he wouldn't have been scared. Like he would have been one of them ones strong arming the prisoners and just stonewalling them and just mean mugging and grilling. And he was really about that life. Like he tried to stab somebody with a pencil. Like y'all, when I tell y'all he was off the chain, man, like that boy was he was something different, man. And I could not figure out like how he used to leave the school. Like he was a handful, man. And that was my first year teaching. And I ended up with him. And, I used to get him to chill out. I used to just talk to him. I used to just um ask him questions and figure out what was going on. And, you know, if he just cursed somebody out, because he wouldn't get suspended. Like because of his IEP, his individual education, he wouldn't get suspended. So, he could do whatever and he had free reign. So, we just had to figure out how we could coexist, man. And, I used to just talk to him, chop it up with him and, take him under my wing and just, just work with him. And by the end of the year, I can't really say that he got better, but I can say that he was better in my classroom. So, there was definitely a love that I had for the profession, and I respect everybody in that profession. I feel like number one, teachers definitely deserve way more money because the amount of work that they do is easily of the same magnitude as lawyers and doctors. They have to be able to diagnose things. They have to deal with multiple personalities every day. Like in a good classroom, you have 15 kids maybe. I remember sometimes I had like 30 in a classroom. And that's no exaggeration. 30 kids. Like we didn't even have enough desks. Like it was crazy. And then you factor in the stress, you factor in the lack of pay and all of that stuff, man. Like I definitely feel for teachers right now. And I think that they are severely underpaid. And, there's a lot that needs to happen in that. I think there should probably be a huge education reform. I am one of those proponents. Um, because they're losing a lot of teachers, man. And it's not an accident. It's not a mistake. It's not confusing as to why people are looking at other means out of income and sources of revenue because for the amount of work that they have to do, man, it's crazy. And you got a lot of teachers doing DoorDash, working part-time jobs and the whole nine. And it's like you went to school for 4 years and a lot of these colleges you paying 30,000 $40,000 and you don't even make that your first year, so you graduating in the hole before you even start at life, man. So I definitely empathize with teachers 100%, man. I've been there. um Another major factor, and I'm gonna probably move on from this, but another major factor why I felt like I couldn't teach is forever for the rest of my life is I remember one of my mentor teachers my first year, her father got sick, and what I'm saying, she was trying to figure out how she was going to pay the hospital bills, and something in my little 21-year-old head kicked in because I graduated and I was 21 my first year teaching. I was thinking, man, you mean I'm gonna work hard for all these years and I'm still gonna have to try to struggle and figure out how I'm gonna pay hospital bills for my parents if they get sick or something like that? And then, that's kind of what put the idea in my head. Like, I need to try to figure out something different. And at the time, at 21, oddly, I didn't really understand how money works because if we be in 100, a lot of people grow up and they don't really understand how money works at a level, which is why a lot of people pick the wrong careers thinking that they're going to do it for the love or the passion, and they don't understand money, and not money in the sense of having cash or just living a rapper lifestyle or anything like that, but just basic monetary principle. We don't really get taught that, and we don't understand it. But I knew enough to know that if she's been teaching for all these years, creeping up on retirement, and she doesn't know how she's going to be able to take care of her father in old age, then when I hit old age and my parents get sick, it's going to be worse because inflation. And again, I didn't have my MBA or nothing like that. I was a teacher first year. I was an education major, so I don't even know how I connected the dots to think about if she had it bad now, in 30 to 40 years down the line, it's going to be way worse. Maybe it was because of the recession of '08. I don't know. Like, I just don't know what made that connection in my head, but I knew that something was off, and I knew that if I stayed in that profession forever, I would be stuck, and I wouldn't really have anything to show for it. So, um, just paying attention to other people in that book, I guess you could say, is kind of what made me get out of teaching. Oh yeah, and then there was another guy. He was like teacher of the year and everything. That's my guy wholeheartedly. He had a part-time job, and it's like, and then again, this is like 2014, 2015, when the economy wasn't what it is now. It was different back then. Like, you could buy a house for 30, 40, 50, 60, under $100,000. You could get a house. But and that was different times. It's like now trying to imagine a teacher get a house with the salary that they make now, adjusted for inflation. It's like, man. So definitely, I know I went on a tangent there. I hope it was a cohesive one, but yeah, man, I definitely feel for anybody in the education profession, man. Like, y'all, whew, whew, man, oh man, it's crazy, y'all. But definitely check out those Robert Greene books. That's the period. Definitely check out those Robert Greene books, man. They're definitely good, man. I think you like them, and that's for anybody. There's a lot of content that anybody could use and anybody could apply. Um, Let me see what's going on in the streets, y'all. Jamar. I don't know what happened just now, y'all. Boy, we just fumbling through it. But yeah, that's the other reason why I'm doing this live until 500, man. Because once I go 5, we definitely pushing for the YouTube partnership, and we're gonna do the super chats and all that. Yeah, man. So let me see. I was trying to see what y'all got going on. We got 3 people in here. I see Jamari in here. I don't know who else in here. What y'all got going on, man? I'll probably try to find one more topic and then sign out because I am a family man. Oh, we could talk about 202, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was signing myself up when I decided to have another. Oh, we got my boy Bacon in the chat. Bacon, what's happening, man? How you been, my brother? We got Bacon in the building, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Big Bacon has entered the chat. My dog Bacon in the building, man. Big Bacon, man. Um, what y'all been listening to, man? I don't want to talk about the Drake album no more. I think I talked that into the ground. I was telling y'all about 202, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. Like, it ain't for the faint of heart, man. Like, I don't know what y'all relationship status is. I don't know how many parents are in the chat right now, but let me tell y'all something, man. Two under two is real, bro. Like, my middle child now, Amir, he used to be so calm. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's so weird now because now that I have three children, my middle child now, it's hard to remember what life was like when it was, just him and Coy, because it just seems like he's just so busy now, man. And I can't tell if it's because he just needs more attention now that he's not the baby anymore, or whatever the case may be. But my boy Amir is wow, man. Like, I just be sitting there like, how does he have this much energy? Like, and it's like he skipped ages because Coy, my oldest, is 8 years old, and him and Amir play like they're the same age. Like, they be wrestling, and Amir is rough. Like, he be slapping Coy and hitting him upside the head, and I'm like, bro, if Coy hit you back, you ain't gonna like it. And then Coy will hit him back, and he'll cry for like 2 seconds and move on. Just my boy just be in everything. It's like we're dealing with the terrible twos, but he ain't two yet. Oh man, y'all. Like, my baby girl, she's so precious though, man. All she do is look around and smile. She just learned how to smile. Man, I'm telling y'all, dog. Kids, I don't know. Like, so I had two boys initially, and when you have boys, it's different because you're a man, and so it's like, yeah, I gotta prepare him for the world, man. I gotta make sure he's ready. I gotta make sure he has game. I gotta make sure, he has those survival instincts that we was just talking about earlier. Like, I gotta make sure he's ready for the world. But when you have a girl, man, it's like, you know, everything you think you know about women just goes out the window, dog. Like, when you just it like, for me, when I had my daughter, or when I found out that I was having a daughter, bro, like, it started when we were picking out clothes. Like, because when you go on the boys section, it's like, yo, let's just get some jeans, let's get some shirts. They're gonna get them dirty. It is what it is. But when you shop for girls, bro, it's like you gotta buy a dress, you gotta buy pink things, you gotta buy things with ruffles, and I'm telling y'all, man, like, parenthood, bro, like, it's expensive. It's expensive. That's the other reason why I haven't been buying stuff for myself lately. Like, I've been chilling out on the fitteds and the sneakers and whoop de whoop. But man, it's rewarding, y'all. It's rewarding, man. It's crazy, y'all. These kids, bruh. These kids, man. Let me see. I do want to have a little bit of intellectual conversation real quick, though. So let me see what's going on in the news. Yeah, let's talk about that, bro. Let's see what's going on in the world, man. Um, what do we have going on? Because I am about to sign off, but I feel like I've been rambling all this time. I got to have some type of constructive level of conversation. So let's see what's going on in the world. What we got going on? A viral $16. I ain't even gonna lie. I looked at this and I automatically thought Ku Klux Klan. I don't know why. Like, I just looked at it and I saw the white Jeeps and I'm like, oh yeah, that don't look good. And apparently we're talking about Hamas. So yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I really want to talk about the economy. What's going on? What we got going on? People really love when I talk about this recession that the world is trying to act like we aren't in. So let me see what we got going on. A shadow bank. That looks interesting. Meta collected children's data from, ooh, yeah, let's talk about that. What we got going on here? Let me see. Hey, we got my dog Coach T in the chat. What's happening, big homie? Another one, man. Coach T. If y'all aren't following Mud Talk Radio, then definitely follow Coach T, man. Coach T drops a lot of wisdom and game as well, man. Like, I definitely like what Coach T has going on, man. Just I was just talking about parenthood, and he has a very cool parenting story, man. Just his situations and everything like that. I I really want to dive into this meta thing, but I definitely gotta give Coach T his flowers. He's creeping up on 1,000 subscribers, man. Shout out to that. Make sure you look into Coach T Mud Talk Radio. He also has a super dope clothing line, Raw Melon Apparel. Check him out. Let me see what's big home. Sometimes you have to tune into your surroundings in life. Music can take you out of the realities around you and the beauties of nature. Oh yeah, man. Like you, boy, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Superfly be dropping game, man. Like, what a lot of people don't realize, man, is nature is really like that, bro. Like some days when I'm having a bad day, like at my last place, like a real reason that it didn't really work out is I'm really big on my freedom, y'all. Like in the middle of the day, I just leave the office and I'll go walk around the lake or something like that. Or, I'll just go sit in nature and listen to the birds and the bees and all that stuff, man. And I'm telling you, bro, like it'll give you a totally different perspective on life, man. Like you look around and you look at all this material things and you look at all of this man-made stuff, and it's very easy to forget that there's so much more to life than just what you can see and what you understand, man. Like just being in nature and actually listening and appreciating what's going on, man, it'll shift your mind, bro. Like I ain't gonna get too metaphysical and esoteric and all that stuff, man. But I'm telling you, like, if you just go sit out, if you're dealing with a problem and you just go sit out at a park or somewhere where there's just nature and you take a notebook and you just write down your thoughts, man, a lot of doors will open up. A lot of things will get clear that you wasn't even thinking about. Like, I highly encourage everybody to just go sit in nature, man. Like for me, I know myself, I like water. Like I like to be around a river or a lake or streams, you know what I'm saying? Just I like water, bro. So when I like to be around nature, I typically go to a park here in Charlotte. There's a really nice lake. I'll just walk around and I'll just look at the wildlife, bro. Like I'll look at the little swans and I'll look at the fish jump out the water and just vibe out, man. Like, it's bruh. I'm telling you, like it's a feeling that you know, um, it's hard to describe and it's hard to put into words because it seems so simple and it seems so minuscule. But I'm telling y'all, man, like, we really don't appreciate nature the way that we should, man. And I hate to sound like a hippie or one of those yoga people or just, but I'm telling y'all, man, nature, man, we definitely gotta appreciate nature, man. And don't go to somewhere like the Grand Canyon or a major what I'm saying, tourist attraction that's not the mall or anything like that, and you look and you see like what nature can create and how nature affects its own environment, because I ain't gonna get too deep, but the world is built off systems, and the original systems are nature, the ecosystem. You have the water cycle. The water cycle is a system, it's a cycle. And life, man, built everything off of nature. You know what I'm saying? You look at the way people sew patterns and you look at a snake and you can see like it's the same thing. Or you look at how people are constantly trying to recreate nature with their inventions. And yeah, there's that on a bioengineering level, but even on a level that you don't think of, like your body is a system. Your body is natural. It came from nature. You have the life cycle. Let me see. Like now I'm driving in traffic. I'm just listening to you. I haven't been listening to any music. Bruh. See, we about to go in a whole different direction, dog. Yes, like, bruh, sometimes you do gotta stop listening to music, bruh. Like, I was watching a video. It's funny. I was watching a video earlier on YouTube. There's this channel called Moon. And the guy was talking about how ignorant rappers destroyed their career. Now, it was a white guy, and I think he's from London or something because he has a British accent. And he was talking about, how ignorant rappers are and how they don't glorify family and they just talk about killing and all this stuff. And, initially, as I was listening, I'm like, oh yeah, this is offensive. You know what I'm saying? But I had to take a step back and actually listen and be honest. And yeah, as much as we don't like to talk about it, and as much as we don't like to admit it, a lot of the music that we listen to isn't good for us. Granted, like if you listen to a lot of old rap, like from the 80s and stuff like that, and you listen to rap today, and I hate to sound like an old head, I know, but y'all, I grew up in the 90s and our music wasn't like the music in the 80s. Granted, we still had, I grew up in prime bad boy era, which, now you look at Diddy and it's like, oh wow. But, you know, so I grew up in the era where the music was changing. You had your Diddy, but you also had your Wu-Tang Clan. And granted, they talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't the best, but it was balanced, because if you listen to certain Wu-Tang songs, they're actually giving wisdom and they're giving knowledge and they're giving insight, and there's value that you could take. I remember one song, I think it was on the Wu-Tang Forever album. I can't think of the name of it right now. But Ghostface was telling the story about how somebody died in a shooting. And then at the end, Raekwon was talking and he was explaining, yeah, another black brother lost and whoop de whoop. Whereas now, it's like action movies, bro. Everybody's doing the most drugs. Everybody's having sex with the most women. Everybody's doing the most shooting and the most killing. It's like there is no balance. There is no bad side. There is no downfall. It's like going to the amusement park every day and there's nothing that it's just. So yeah, man. Superfly again is dropping a lot of game. Sometimes you just gotta turn the music off and just don't listen. Even my guy, I always say Drake is the GOAT. Drake is my favorite rapper. But lately I just haven't been liking his latest outings, man. And it's like, you know, the music just isn't hitting like that no more. It's not, you know, I was a fan of Drake because his music was relatable. He was talking about real life situations and real life issues. And, he was doing some aspirational stuff. He was talking about his journey and his come up. And I thought that was cool. And it's like the Drake that we have now, we're not really getting none of that anymore. And if we do, it's the same tired stories. It's nothing new. It's nothing innovative. Um, so yeah, I haven't really been listening to my favorite rapper like that. But yeah, music cleansers are definitely good. Just a lot of times we distract ourselves so much that we don't even really hear ourselves think. And I know it sounds crazy, but thinking is definitely something that you have to practice doing. I know a lot of times you hear your voice in your head and you think that's thinking. That's not thinking. But actually sitting down and listening to yourself think and hearing your thoughts in nature, you know what I'm saying? That's just a totally different feeling. And that's something that when the first time you do it, it's gonna seem uncomfortable. You're probably gonna want to reach for your phone and grab it and put on some music or something like that. But I challenge all of y'all, especially the younger people, man. Just go sit out in nature and just listen, man. Don't turn on no music. Just walk around and get in tune with your thoughts, man. You'll see. Like again, I don't want to call it a high because I think if you call it a high, that's kind of cheapening it. But you know what I'm saying? Just getting in touch with your thoughts and your feelings, man. It's a real deal, man. Like I think if a lot more people did that, the world would be a different place. And I think we don't do that enough. And that's why things are the way that they are, because people really aren't thinking anymore. They're just running on autopilot and they're running off social media comparisons and likes. Oh man, I gotta drop this gem with y'all, man. I know I'm going on another tangent and we're gonna talk about this meta stealing children's data in a second. But before I do, man, so you know, lately I've been going through it, man. It's no secret. I share it with y'all all the time. And, I feel like everything happens for a reason. My grandmother died and, it is what it is. But a positive about that was a lot of my family came home and I got to see people and have conversations that I haven't had. And in very long time. So it was really cool reconnecting and seeing people, man. You know, it's unfortunate, but you know, holidays and funerals, weddings are really the only time we really get to spend time with family like that anymore. And so one of my cousins, he's a doctor up in Philadelphia. He came down and we were talking, man, and you know, I was just telling him about, you know, just general life stuff, man. Like, you know, I've always felt like I've been on this hurry to get rich fast and, you know, not get rich quick, because get rich quick, that's scammy and that's not what I mean. But I've always felt like I've been behind the eight ball, or, you know, there's so many people ahead of me, or there's so many people. I feel like I'm behind in life, you know, because I got into my field late. And a lot of things I just felt like I was behind that. And so my cousin just asked, he's like, yo, you know, who are you comparing yourself to? And, you know, he asked the question and it sounds so simple, but y'all, I froze up instantly. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was so simple, but it was so profound for me, because it's like, you know, comparison is such an insidious trap that if you don't look, you don't even realize that you're comparing yourself to people. And, you know, I stopped and I was just thinking, because it was like, damn, I really have been comparing myself to people. Because, you know, he was explaining to me that he's a doctor. And, well, he wasn't explaining to me that he was a doctor, but he was explaining that, you know, while he was in med school, you know, that there were people that were, he was one of the oldest people in his class at the time. And he was in his early 30s when he was going through med school. And you know, he was like, he felt like he was behind until he looked at some of his classmates and he saw that there were people that were 60s and 70, and they were trying to become doctors and they were in med school. And you know, that's when it was like, it hit him that, yeah, I'm a little older. You know, I'm in my early 30s and I'm deciding I want to be a doctor. And, you know, a majority of the class are people that are fresh out of undergrad, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, fast forward today, I'm a doctor in my early 30s. And, you know, I'm one of the youngest doctors at my practice, and I'm one of the youngest doctors in my area. Again, I'm in my early 30s. And it's like, you know, all this time when I was in school, I was comparing myself until I saw the older med school students. And then when I got in the real world, you know, even though I'm in my early 30s, I'm still one of the youngest doctors. So it's like, yeah, if I compare myself to people that are younger than me, yeah, I'm going to be an older doctor. But if I look around and I see the whole picture, you know, I'm still ahead of a lot of people that are trying to be doctors that are still in med school, because I left a lot of people behind too. So, you know, that really just shifted my mindset, and it put a lot of things in perspective for me personally, because it's like, you know, again, we don't even really pay attention to the way that we compare ourselves to people. And then he also said the other thing about comparing yourself to people is you don't really understand what people had to go through to get what they have. You know, you only see the result, but you don't see the story. And sometimes people have ugly things in their story to get what they have. Sometimes people worked extremely hard. Sometimes people made sacrifices. Like, you don't really know. So, you know, everybody's story is different and everybody's story is special. I was like, man, you know, it just really made me take a step back and think about things. Cause, you know, honestly, even with this YouTube thing, man, like, you know, I can't really say that I'm jealous of anybody, because I'm not. But at the same time, you know, you look at other people's channels and it's like, man, they have 1 million subscribers, or they have 100,000 subscribers, or they're YouTube partners. And it's like, you know, you don't know what that person did to get that. You don't know that person's story. You don't know what their sacrifices are. And you don't know what they had to do. And it's like, you know, that's why I can come on here and I can sit here and talk and I can show love and I can give everybody their flowers, man, because everybody has their own unique journey. Everybody has their own unique stories. And, you know, the stories that we go through are what give us our character. And that's what makes us who we are. So shout out to my cousin Carl, man. That boy dropped some game on me, man. Like, And I also think that that's something that we need to start doing too, man. We need to just start randomly giving each other game, man, because there's a lot of ignorance out here in the world, and there's a lot of stupidity out here in the world. And if you're not paying attention, it definitely overshadows all of the positives in the world. Like earlier, I was saying there's a bunch of things that I just won't do personally on my YouTube. And if I have to not, blow up or be as big as some people, I'm good with that because I'm not about to sit up here and play with my wife any kind of way. I'm not about to, put my kids in bad situations or do crazy things just to get likes or attention or views. Because I was watching another YouTuber earlier and they were, documenting how people lost their mind trying to, entertain people. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. I would much rather give wisdom or share insight and knowledge. Let me see. Here we go. The teachings I follow, you are always encouraged to look at those under you and not those who are above you in order to be grateful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is wisdom right there, man. That's again, man, stuff like that, man. I think the world would be in a much better place if we focus on building each other up instead of tearing each other down. And obviously, I'm not sitting here being oblivious to the world that we live in. But what I'm saying is, instead of complaining about all of the negativity that we have out here, you know, you could be like Superfly and just drop game, man. Like Superfly sprinkles so much game, bro. Like if you look at the things that he's been saying in the chat, like they're so heavy and they're so profound, man. And they may look simple and you may take it for granted, but if you actually put those things into practice, you'll instantly see results, man. Like you go out, sit out in some nature, you'll instantly see the result. Or, maybe you're just so numb. It may take a little bit of time, but I'm telling you, man, like, just I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. Meta collected children's data from Instagram accounts, unsealed court documents allege. Man, social media, that's another thing, bro. Like we gotta pay attention to that. I don't know. It's weird because you want to prepare your children for the real world, and social media is a part of the real world, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that you have to protect your children from as well. So finding that balance is definitely interesting. um, to make sure that you're protecting and you're being a parent, but at the same time, you're not sheltering and hiding your kids from the realities of the world. Because when you do that, you kind of don't prepare them and you insulate them too much, and then they get out here and they're food. So let's see. Since at least 2019, Meta has knowingly refused to shut down the majority of accounts belonging to children under the age of 13 while collecting their personal information without their parents' consent. A newly unsealed court document from an ongoing federal lawsuit against the social media giant alleges. I mean, I think a lot of us for a long time knew that there were nefarious things that go on with big data and, what I'm saying, just the liberties that we give up in order to participate in these things. Um, but doing that to the kids is crazy, bro. Like, I understand. Bro, I don't know, man. Do y'all know how crazy that is? Like, stealing information from children? Because it's like children don't understand. Again, children don't really have a thorough understanding of the world and how, let me say most children, how predatory people can be, man. And you know what I'm saying? For these bigger companies to take data from children and use it and manipulate these kids, man. Obviously, there's mental issues that you have to look into with that. Like, you look at the suicide rates and you look at how a lot of children more it would seem are doing things that we didn't really do as children. Either that or it just wasn't publicized and we didn't see it in the news as much. I don't know. I think it's more, again, comparison, bro. Let's see. I already know about the privacy violations, I'm sure. One Meta product designer wrote in an internal email that young ones are the best ones. You want to bring people to your service young and early. Meta's own records reveal that Instagram's audience composition includes millions of children under the age of 13. Even though Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule, which prohibits companies from collecting the personal information of children under 13 without a parent consent. Yeah, man. I mean, I think what happens is a lot of people value money and they value, you know, clicks and likes and metrics more than they value their own responsibility and their obligation as companies. Because I mean, that's crazy. Let's see. The unsealed complaint also alleges that Meta knew that its algorithm could steer children towards harmful content, thereby harming their well-being. According to internal company communication cited in the documents, employees wrote that they were concerned about content on IG triggering negative emotions among tweens and impacting their mental well-being, and are ranking algorithms, taking them to negative spirals and feedback loops that are hard to exit from. Boom. Mental health, bro, it's right there. I mean, they knew it. That's the crazy thing. They knew it. And it's like, again, man, like these are kids, bro. And the way that I look at social media is like this. It's like, you wouldn't let a 13-year-old or younger into a strip club. Um, there's gatekeeping things to keep them off of porn sites. But if you look at Instagram, depending on if you accidentally click on something, your Explorer page can turn into a porn site, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, even if you're not intentionally looking for it, they try to say that the algorithm is based on what you like, but you don't even have to be looking for that stuff and it'll pop up in your algorithm. Or don't let somebody send you a DM. You might not be looking for it, but one of your friends, because they're kids, bro. Like, all it takes is one click on the wrong page, and now they're looking at stuff that technically they have to be 18 to see. Because Instagram, you see how all of the, well, not all of them, you see how a lot of women have their link trees and their OnlyFans and stuff linked on to their Instagram. And some of them have it on their feed. So yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's wild. Meta was really out here wilding. In March 2021, March 2021 internal investigation looking at eating disorder content, Meta's team followed users whose accounts name reference starvation, skinniness, and disorder eating. Instagram's algorithm then began generating a list of recommended accounts that included accounts related to anorexia, the lawsuit states. However, I guess that's Antigone Davis, Meta's global head of safety, testified before Congress in September 2021 that Meta does not direct people towards content that promotes eating disorders, that actually violates our policies, and we remove that content when we become aware of it. We actually use AI to find content like that and remove it. We want teens to have safe, age-appropriate experiences online, and we have over 30 tools to support them and their parents, Meta told CNN in a statement. We spent a decade working on these issues and hiring people who have dedicated their careers to keeping young people safe and supported online. The complaint mischaracterizes our work using selective quotes and cherry-picked documents. Uh, I'm calling cap. I'm calling cap. I mean, we have to keep it 100. A lot of these sites sites and apps are based on engagement, and they're based on how long people can keep you on there. And again, it's a common topic and debate that I know I have with a lot of people in my content creator circles. It's like, you have to figure out how you can find a niche that's acceptable without selling out or, looking crazy out here in these streets, man. And, again, I gotta big up people like Superfly. I gotta big up Coach T over at Mud Talk Radio. I gotta big up my guy Norman over at Norman Nation. You know, they post sneakers, but they're always gonna give you game. Superfly, I mean, you can look right here and see. Like, I'm not capping. Superfly is going to give you game. Norm is going to give you game. I told y'all when Coach T came on here, when he talks about his parenting situations and things like that, he's going to give you game, and they're going to teach you entrepreneurship. They're going to give you wisdom and insights, man. Like, it's just like, let me see. It's parents' fault giving children these devices at such early age. My youngest son is Adam. He never had a phone until high school. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Definitely. Yeah, man. That's facts right there, man. That's facts. Again, bringing back my experience in the classroom, because I saw it firsthand. Like, I remember you know the kids would be talking about, and this was the most mind-blowing thing, man. Like, mind you, when I was teaching, I never taught above 6th grade. So we're dealing with 4th graders, 5th graders. 4th and 5th grade. Yeah, I've only taught 4th and 5th grade. And so, you're looking at 8, 9, 10 year olds, 11, you know what I'm saying? Kids. And it's crazy because I remember they used to always talk about Lil Boosie on DJ Vlad, or what they saw their parents doing on Facebook, or just having very, very, very crazy conversations for children. And it's like, how do y'all know this stuff? And it's like, they were really like mini adults, bro. Like, the stuff that they would talk about, it was just so mind blowing to see every day. And it's like, as a teacher, the other uphill battle that you had to deal with when you were trying to teach these kids is like, they would literally ask you questions like, when are you going to buy a Lamborghini? Or why don't you dress like Future? Or, just off the wall questions. Like, I bet you got a lot of girlfriends. Like just questions that children, like, I don't know, man. Maybe, I guess because I'm in my 30s, I'm showing my age, but there was a boundary that children did not cross with adults, bro. Like, there was a fine line. Like, children knew that there was only so far you could go. Now, am I saying that there weren't, other children that just crossed those lines and they didn't care? No, that's unrealistic. You always have those types of kids. But for the most part, overall in the classroom, you had the one or two, but there was always children that they were kids, bro. Well, we were kids rather. It's like, but when I was teaching, and mind you, this was 10 years ago now, so I can only imagine how crazy it is, because Instagram was a thing then, but Instagram then wasn't what Instagram is now. And there wasn't TikTok, you know, YouTube was different back then too. And so it's like, the kids these days, they literally see everything, bro. Let me see. He's not hooked on social media at all. He doesn't post that stuff, and he is a very private person. Shout out to Adam, man. Like, Adam, man, that's a special one. And I could just see by the way he posts, man. Like, I saw y'all in the gym, you know what I'm saying? Just living life, bro. Like, you can see the difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kids have no boundaries these days. I see this stuff every day. Social media has truly ruined the youth. Yes, bro. And it's like, you peel back the layers and you see, like, kids are really being set up out here. Like, look, here it is right here. Meta has profited from children's pain by intentionally designing its platforms with manipulative features that make children addicted to their platforms while lowering their self-esteem. Like, bro, like I don't know, man. Like, you definitely have to be on it, bro. Like, you in this era of parenting, man, like you really have to be there, and you really I post this video. Oh man, that's funny. I post this video for him. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy to think what's out there and what children have access to these days, man. It's like, and then, the other thing is like, as a parent, you could be doing everything right, and you could be shielding your child, and you could be protecting your child, and you could be preparing your child. But then you still have to come to grips with the fact that your child is going to be the one child that has to compete with all of the other children, or what I'm saying, you have to protect your child from all of the other children in that classroom, man. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think that right now we're in a time where it's kind of unprecedented, because you look at communications technology and how things came to pass. So, you had the radio, and the radio would only go but so far as the impact that it could have. Yeah, if you listen to the wrong things, we talked about music earlier. We know that music can have a negative effect on you depending on what you listen to and who you listen to and what they're talking about. You know, and then the radio kind of progressed into the television, where it provided visuals with it. You could see it and you could hear it at the same time. And then we progressed to the internet and social media, where it's actually interactive and you're a participant. Because, when you watch TV, there's only but so much you can actually interact with the television. Like, unless it's a live show and you're calling in, like American Idol or something like that, there was always a layer between you and what was going on the TV. And even if it was live, there was still a layer or a boundary. You watch a movie, you can't interact with the movie. But social media, you could interact with it. Guys, we're talking right now. We're having conversations. I'm responding to things that you're saying. You're responding to things that I'm saying. It's interactive. So you look at children, and they're interacting with people. And then, like, you get into the child predators and the perverts and all of that other stuff, bro. And it's just like, it is really, really, really scary out here these days, man. And it's like, you know, you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. It's just a really, really, really crazy time, man. But all I can say is, you might want to do like Superfly and don't give your kids phones and access to certain technologies, bro. Like, it's scary, man. But look, y'all, we've been on here for an hour and 23 minutes. I gotta go talk to my wife before I end up sleeping on the couch, which I ain't sleeping on nobody's couch. Let me not even say that joke like that, because I am not sleeping on nobody's couch. But, I do want to spend some time with the wife. You'll help me make it home. Good conversation. Thanks, brother. Y'all have a. Hey, man, shout out to Superfly Kicks, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Glad you made it home safely. You already know how we rocking, bro. I will holler at you soon. Everybody else that's been in here rocking with your boy, we're gonna do it again tomorrow, man. My goal, like I said, live until 500, bro. I'm gonna be doing lives every day until we hit 500, or I get my watch time up and I get into this YouTube partner program. So that's just how we rocking, man. Wherever the conversation flows, that's where we gonna go. So yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. I don't know what time. I need to do better promoting these things. We gonna get there, y'all. it's still trial and error, but yo, man, I'm getting sleepy. Gotta holler at the wife, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, so we can get it across the air. Make sure you hit that little bell so you can tell when we dropping more. And I'm gonna holler.